What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions.
And on the anniversary of 9/11, the Yankees and the Mets played ball. The Subway Series was brimming with emotion today as the teams and the fans honored our heroes. CBS 2's Thalia Perez has more.
They stood together in unison on both sides of the field. And Yankees and Mets players proudly honored first responders by sporting FDNY and NYPD caps, just two of the symbolic gestures marking the 20th anniversary of 9/11.
And a very grand welcome to all the fellow decoders out there around the world, wherever you are. My name is Logan, and this is Decode Your Reality. And today we're going to be breaking down and decoding some baseball. The first pitch of September 11th, 2021, and you saw in the very beginning of this presentation some of the highlights from the news on that game. And ladies and gentlemen, I didn't plan on decoding this, but of course as fate would have it, because you know, if you look through my catalog of videos, I don't have much sports in there. But I was in the grocery store tonight grabbing some food, and on the big screen was the baseball game. And I just happened to glance over just when Joe Torre and Bobby Valentine were throwing out the first pitch. And the numbers on their jersey completely caught my eye, and I knew that there was something scripted about this. Of course, all sports is scripted, and I can assure all of you that man's not scripting it. Man is just following the script. Because our entire reality, as I've been showing over and over, it's just getting monotonous now, that our entire reality is scripted and mankind is just following the script, aka the blueprint. Mankind is not writing the script. It's something outside of our reality, whatever that looks like. And during this presentation, I'm going to support that opinion once again, with ironclad and convincing evidence that mankind is not running the script. So let's get into this. I only have 9 slides, very short and sweet on this one. Right to the point. This day back in 2011, of course, all of us will never forget. This day is linked to this card called the King Clubs card. September 11th is the King Clubs card, the 26th card in the deck. The tarot card that is associated with that, which came after the cards of illumination, the cousin cards, the tarot, is the King of Wands. Now, depending on how you lay out your tarot cards, it can be either card 35 or 36. If you don't place the Fool in the 22nd position, it becomes card 35. And this is really relevant to what the coding was during this broadcast on September 11th, 2021. But this is the day and the cards that are linked to that day. So here was the screenshot. Here's what I saw on the television just quickly when I was waiting for my food at the grocery store. And you notice that they have these two guys that come out on the field and throw the first pitch. Bobby Valentine, former manager and player representing the Mets, and then Joe Torre, former player and manager of the Yankees. And what caught my eye, ladies and gentlemen, is the numbers on their jersey. And you should quickly realize the connection, because if I go right back up to the card linked to the day, September 11th, it's the 26th card in the deck. Now, you could easily say, yeah, well, they made them wear those jerseys and those numbers, and okay, but let's keep going to completely abolish that theory. We're going to go deeper. So these guys throw out the first pitch. So we start with this slide right here, and notice on the back of the jerseys, Torre doesn't have his name on the back of it. Now, some of you say, well, the Yankees don't put their name on their back of their jerseys, whatever. There could be so many different ways that you could slice or dice it. But what's important is what's showing on the screen and what people's eyes are giving their attention to. So it's Valentine and the number 2, and then Torre with the number 6. So, of course, you decode that and you get the number 43. When you bring that into the string of pi, and as I've been showing so many times, countless now, pi is a truth teller. And man didn't write pi. It's the measurement of a circle. It's all the emotions that we're giving off. Notice what digits the number 43 occupies in the string of pi. Digits 23 and digit 24. And if you just go one extra layer in the string of pi again, once you add up the 23 and 24, you're going to get the number 47. And when you put that 47 into the string of pi, it becomes very crystal clear that man's not coding this reality, because there's the date directly in our face, based off of the two guys that threw out the first pitch and their jerseys. Let's keep going. So it was Valentine that only had his name on the back of the jersey. So I broke that down, and of course, lo and behold, it's a 35, and that's tied to the King of Wands card being the 35th card. And remembering when going back up, September 11th has these two cards attached to the day. Now this 35 is tied to this element on the periodic table called bromine. Bromine's most abundant average weight is 79.904, and then of course you bring in one more layer to attach to that, and you have the element gold. You have the element gold, and I'm going to show that again in the next couple slides. But how about that? The tie-ins, and you can see that mankind is not coding this. Not at these layers, folks. It just gets too complicated. Let me just show you how much more complicated it becomes. Bobby Valentine was born on May 13th, and Joe Torre on July 18th. When we bring in their birth cards, Bobby Valentine has the 6 diamonds, which is card 32. And Torre has the 10 clubs card, which is card 23. Notice that they are a mirror of one another. When you add those cards up, ladies and gentlemen, 32 and 23, get out your calculators. You're going to get the number 55. And what element has a weight of 55? Well, it's the 26th element. And the 26 going right back to that card that's linked to this slide and, of course, the actual day that it happened on. So you can clearly see, ladies and gentlemen, when you bring in the periodic table, and of course, you know, what's in our blood? Iron. The God equals 26. 55 is linked to the word predestination, because that's exactly what our reality is. It's scripted before each and every one of us got here. Predestination. Here's the final score of the game. The Yankees won the game 8-7. Of course, I'm going to bring those two numbers, put it into the string of pi, and look at where it appears. The 87 occupies 2 digits, but the main digit that stands out is the 305, going right back once again to that card number 35, King of Wands, and that is the card of September 11th. The final freaking score. Now, you know how many people would have to be in on the conspiracy? The players, to allow the score to be this way? Now, I know you can fudge some things to win games. I'm not going to debate that. But to get to this layer right here, to connect to this layer right there, to connect to the actual day itself, do you know what would have to go into that? Got to use your common sense and logic. Most people don't use that. Not you, but most people that I see don't use their common sense and logic. They're fooled thinking man's running the show. Here's more evidence and support. Here are the scores circled. Not the scores. Here are the records of each team after this game was completed. And of course, I'm going to compare that to the elements and do the alchemy of their records. And of course, you know, Yankees won their 79th game, which is gold. That's more gold, because we know this reality is led to gold. And of course, what's getting the gold is the big question. Well, it's the God, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. But when you do all 4 elements tied to the win-loss of both teams, and you do the alchemy and you add them all up, look at what number you get. The big standout is the 704, aka the 74. And you should automatically know what the 74 means, what it's tied to, and what the mirror of that number is. So I decided to break down and decode Bobby Valentine and Joe Torre's full birth names. Another layer that mankind would have to throw into the mix to code this little riddle. Robert John Valentine is a 75. Joseph Paul Torre is a 67. When we do their alchemy, I didn't even have to break them all down individually. But Valentine's 75 is rhenium. Torre is holmium, number 67. When we go to the trusty calculator once again, and we add those up and alchemize them, we get the number 351.886. And then going to numberempire.com, look at what number the 351 is. It's the 26th triangular number. Now, if you know what the triangular numbers mean, well, you'd have more keys to the kingdom here on what the code's expressing. But make no mistake about it, it's tied to this character right there from the ancient Israelite God of the Holy Bible. It's called the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, otherwise known as the Tetragrammaton. And remember, the word God in the English ordinal is the number 26. And remember that the 26 is right here with the iron, tied to their birth cards. So you can clearly see mankind is not scripting this reality. They are just following a script. It's a big show. It's all theater. And man's just acting out the show. You can clearly see it. So this is my last slide. Told you I'd keep this short. September 11th is the 254th day of the year. It leaves 111 days remaining till the end of the year. And of course, 111 is tied to the magic square of the sun, because it has 6 rows of 111, which end up becoming 666. But of course, when you bring the 254 into the string of pi, it appears at the 337th decimal digit. And of course, that's not any number, ladies and gentlemen. That is a freaking prime number. And it's not just any prime number. It's the 68th prime number. And we bring in alchemy into that. And the element erbium has that 166 as one of its isotopes. And we know that The Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, the name of the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh by the Greeks is called the Tetragrammaton, which is 166. So, folks, you can clearly see what was behind the 9/11. Mankind acted it out, but mankind didn't control it, didn't write the blueprint, didn't write the script. What's getting the energy? Well, you're seeing what's getting the energy. You know what's getting the energy. It's pretty crystal clear what's getting the energy. Our reality is completely scripted and rigged. Mankind is not writing the script. Mankind is just following the script. All you and I are living out our code through our avatars, and we're being used to live out our lives. I'm not here to debate free will. I'm simply saying and showing that this reality is scripted, and mankind is not writing the script. Clearly, you can see that. So there you go, folks. 9/11, first pitch, decoded. So what is it that you saw during this presentation? A real short one of mine, but I just wanted to get this one out. I had some technical difficulties on my live tonight, so I wanted to get some material out for all of you to see that it doesn't matter if it's mainstream news, sports, politics, state, government. This entire reality is scripted by the architect or architects, and it's something outside of our reality, and we as human beings are just following the script. Maybe it's something that you saw, but I mean, the numbers on the jerseys are a dead giveaway. That 26 is right there from the original spelling, the ancient Israelite God of the most popular book on the world stage today. It's right there staring you in the face. So, folks, that's all I got for today. My name is Logan. This is Decode Your Reality. I thank each and every one of you for your donations, your Patreons. Those of you that want a reading, just hit me up, decodeyourreality@gmail.com. Until next time, we will see you later.